Hey, so yesterday I used Dixie Belle Boss, and I know that's backwards because I have it, on selfie. I used Gray Boss on this little, sorry for the traffic, little jewelry box, and I left the inside natural, and did part of the drawers, and of course, protecting my little glass parts there. So today I'm going to use a combination of Flamingo and tea rose, and that's both in Dixie Belle. You can see the labels. I'm going to do a blend, and then I have some small transfers from Redesign by Prima, with Prima, to put on after that's dry. So I'm going to start by giving it a little bit of a mist. And I think, my basic coat is going to be the Flamingo. And then I'm going to do some highlighting blends with the tea rose. And we'll see how that comes out. I'm moistening my brush as well, and these are synthetic brushes, and I also have a boar's head round brush to do my blending with, because that's what I like to do. So let's start on the top with the Flamingo. And I love this color. I think it's really pretty. And I have two separate brushes. And for this blend, I just want it to be a very subtle highlight, so that's why I covered the entire top with Flamingo. And it's just my first coat. Let me just cover this just a little bit more. Yeah. And I'm going to keep the surface kind of damp. And that's just a mister. It's not a spray. It's just a mister. And I'm going to lay some tea rose right here in the center. Yeah. So let's see how that blends. And this boar's head brush gives you some texture as well, which I like on these surfaces. And this is an old brush, but still sometimes the bristles fall out. And I usually go in different directions. I'm just trying to get that blended just for a subtle highlight. There, and will look a little different. I might want more and more highlights on it, and I can do that when I do my second coat. So I did leave the hardware on But afterwards I'll probably do a little bit of scuff sanding on the hardware and add some gilding wax. And I'll also kind of scrape that off the hinges as well, I think. I'm pretty sure. And if it starts to feel a little sticky, this is such a small piece that I don't want to overload it with water, but I want the paint to move more smoothly, so I added a little bit more paint to my brush. Okay. Oops. Have you done that before? Huh. I'm going to try misting the front a little because it is sticking. So here I'm tapping it just so that it goes into the corners, but I'm really not getting texture with my synthetic brush because I'm pulling it across in the direction of the grain afterwards. And I will remove the drawers afterwards and do the fine detail paint on the inside. And once I get my colors on. I hope you can see that. I'm going to try holding it from the bottom so I don't get in the way of the camera. So here, I'm just going to add this highlight to the front of the drawers because the framing around the glass in the is so small in the middle. I don't think that would show. Okay, I hope you can see this. And I love the way that's going to look across the drawers. I can probably add some dark or light wax as well to highlight that. Now there's a darker spot over here where I brushed, but I'm not going to touch that because I'm going to wait for it to dry. This is my first coat, so it's more important that I wouldn't go back over it with a sticky brush and cause really a lot of brush marks. Try not to hit the top of that. Alright, I'm going to use the right brush here. And hope I'm not getting in the way of the camera. And let's add some to the bottom now too. I think with the bottom I'm going to leave that the one color. Okay. When I do my plans, I'm going to layer these, so I'll put these small ones underneath the larger flower. And this is Hello Pink Autumn by Redesign with Prima. So I'm going to start with this. Let's see. I'm going to go here, so I will start with this one right there. And these come with a backing. So you just pull off the backing and lay it down. If you don't press too hard, you can move it around. So put that one there, and I'm going to put this one sort of near it. So yeah, I think I'll go just about there. I don't know if you can see or not. Hopefully you can see. These are part of the small transfers. And it comes in a package of 3 and has all different designs on it. So you get quite a few transfers. And they're inexpensive. Inexpensive to use. Sorry for the noise. I do get traffic here. Of course, and somebody has to be either sawing something or blowing something, I don't know. It's Saturday, so people are doing their yard work and now the paint is chalk paint. It has dried 24 hours and I have not clear coated it yet. I'll do the clear coat after the transfers. And then after I get the transfers and the clear coat, oops. So there was one little tiny piece there that I'm going to put down. So I don't want to lose my stem, even though it's probably covered. But just to show you that, you know, it's pretty forgiving. So if a little bit of the transfer comes off, you can put the clear piece down and rub over the transfer and still get it off where you want it to go. Oh, that came off really easily. These little stems are tiny and they want to peel back with the transfer. There we go. There we go. So I just burnish it afterwards with my finger. And now I'm going to put the bouquet over the leaves. So I just want to show you that I'm putting it over so the stems will be underneath as if it's part of the bouquet. And that's what makes doing transfers fun. You can layer them, and as you'll see later on, they go around corners and you can really do a lot with them and they're such fun. So after you think you've got a good part of it down, you pick up a corner and start peeling it back. And you can see if part of that transfer is still stuck to the backing, and go back over it and rub down on it until it frees itself on the backing. And you'll see that some of these little tiny details are a little trickier to get off. But it works really nicely though. It's amazing. This almost looks like it has blueberries on it. It's so pretty. I'm just going to put it down a little bit so I can get a better grip. Try tipping it forward again so that you can see. Beautiful.